welcome back to Beards, Bourbon, and Games. I'm your co-host, Conqueror Corey. With me, I have Mike.
Yep.
And Sony made an announcement.
Yes, they did, and we're going to watch it together. So sit back and enjoy the show, I guess.
Sounds like a copyright strike.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so
the Slim got announced.
it did.
Something that stands out right away, just looking at the website here, they come standard with 1 terabyte of storage. Good job, PlayStation. You did it.
One thing I want to point out automatically looking at this is vertical stands sold separately.
Oh, I can't wait to see how much they how much they want to charge for that.
So they've all got a terabyte, of course. Here, and here's something big too.
Ooh, add-on.
Yep. Looks like with the digital edition, you can add a Blu-ray player at a later date, I'm guessing. So we'll go on down here. So this is the model, what they look like. They're kind of split here. Reading ahead a little bit earlier, you can tell this top part is supposed to be glossy, I guess, is it right? And the bottom's matte. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to look.
I like that design.
Yeah, it's not as Kaiba out, I guess, but it's still very router based, you know.
One thing I've noticed is the length of it is still looks to be roughly the same, and we'll look up dimensions here in a minute if they got some online. But it looks like where they did a lot of the reduction was the weight.
Yeah, like down here,
the width.
Oh yeah, like this way, not this way. I know what you're talking about. Like if we look at this here, it said it reduced it by like the volume by 30% and the weight by 18 and 24%. So I'm guessing the first number is the digital and the second is the disc version.
Okay, and it looks like the Blu-ray add-on will be 70 or be $80. Looks like it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got some thoughts about that. I love the idea of it, but I think it's about 2 years too late. And the reason why I say this, just hear me out. I can feel the rage in the comments already. They're getting ready to they're getting out the pitchforks. They're getting the torches. They're getting the Sony brands that they're going to put to the fire and then poke me with. It's not hard to get the disc drive. Now we haven't seen the price yet, and the price will mean everything, right? But I think this would have been a great idea back in 2020 when it first came out. And the reason why I say this is in 2020, as we all know, we think let's think of the dark days.
Oh gosh, I don't want to think that far.
These things was like trying to shoot a unicorn to get a hold of. It was hard, and I only managed. Mike got lucky and got a disc drive one, but we tried to get me one, and it was hard to get one. I finally managed to get a hold of a digital one, which I had for about a year until I could get a hold of a disc drive one to then sell my digital one. I think if they would have had this add-on drive back then, it would have been amazing because I would have dropped the $80 just to put the disc drive in my digital.
Yeah, I mean, you saved what $100 on the digital version, so yeah, it kind of worked out at that point.
But yeah, so I love the idea of it. Don't get me wrong. I hope more and more consoles do this. I think it's a good thing because it's consumer friendly. It allows you to get in at a cheaper price point, depending on how much it is here. We'll make that call in a minute. But I just think it was too late.
I do too.
For it to be a wow.
I agree completely. And here's another thing too. If that's removable on the digital version, is it removable on the disc version? And if it is, that means it's a replaceable part. So if your disc drive dies, you can put the new one in.
I did not think about that. Okay, thank you for that. That kind of shines a little bit of a better light on it, and
Right.
I like that.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty cool thing to me. As someone who works on machines and stuff, like we do a lot of modding on this channel, and do a lot of our self repairs because we just love doing it. Being able to do that, not have to buy a whole new system if your disk drive goes out, would be great.
Or pay Sony for a repair, which I think is $200 now or something like that for an out of warranty repair.
Yep.
Okay, let's scroll on down here. Take a look here.
Oh, could have scrolled down a little bit and seen this picture. So this looks like how it connects in here.
So it looks like they're going to stop making the original model, which is to be expected. They do the same thing with every console generation. As of right now, I pulled up Amazon and you can get a PlayStation 5 for $500. My local Walmart, I live in a little backwoods country. It's full of them. Like I could just pick one up.
If you go down the rivers of the Amazon and you go until you can't see the light of the world anymore, you'll pop up where Conquer Corey lives, and there you can buy all the PlayStation 5s you want.
I mean, you take a left at Lizard Fork Road, and if you see Old Man Jenkins, you've gone too far. You need to turn around and go back. But yeah, like I said, I don't live in a city like Mike does. I live in a very rural area, and my Walmart has all these. So, but anyways, yeah, they're gonna have some of these, and oh my goodness, I scroll down and I see the price.
Okay. I have a problem here.
How'd this happen? Okay, so I get it if the price didn't fluctuate, but typically the Slims were always going cheaper. But what's getting me is the digital is $50 more, and maybe the current digital was $50 more now since the price ranges, since inflation, and maybe I'm missing it. But that means if you pay $80 for the add-on disk drive,
you're paying more.
You're then over. So repair and replacement's the only thing, which begs the question: how fast are these things burning out?
Yeah. That's a really good question. Is this a known issue, which is why they're making it available?
But okay, I get. I think that digital should have stayed should have went down to $400. Because honestly, for 50 more bucks, you're getting you're basically getting $30 off the Blu-ray drive.
I don't see a point in buying the digital. I don't see a point in buying a digital at that cost at all. Like, none at all. I just, no.
Again, if this was 2 years ago, this would be perfect.
Yeah, but again, 2 years ago, you're paying $3.99 or...
Was it $3.99? Oh, you're right. Yeah, it was $3.99.
$3.99 for the digital, and then $4.99 for the other one. So you're saving $100.
Look, granted, everything's gone up since 2 years. Inflation, I get that, but I just think it's interesting that they kept the disc version at the same price, which makes me wonder if Sony's maybe getting kickbacks because they own Blu-ray, and maybe they're passing that on a little bit to you.
Maybe.
And you are not going to be happy how much that stand cost.
You've got to be kidding me. And then an additional $30 for the stand. The original PlayStation came with a stand that did both of them. Both of it. It went horizontal and vertical. What were they thinking? This price point. Correct me if I'm wrong, and please tell me in the comments below if I'm wrong. Every time they've released a slim model or a new version of the console, unless it's been more powerful than its predecessor, it's been cheaper.
I think the 360 did it. The Xbox did it.
The PlayStation 4 did it, and when it came out with a smaller version, I'm pretty sure that was cheaper. PlayStation 3 did it too, if I remember correctly.
I mean, I like the design of the stand. It looks cool. But again, the old model for the same price that they're asking for this slim came with one that was perfectly functional, and I actually like it.
Oh, I think it works great. I think it looks good. I think it works great. It matches everything I'm doing with it. And this thing just... I feel like this is less, and you're having to pay more for it.
If you're mad, don't scroll down. You're going to see the cost for what they want to charge for covers. Custom colored covers.
God. Oh my God. Here we go. Here we go, people. Variety of colors will be made for the new model starting early 2024, including all matte black color, deep earth, volcanic red, cobalt blue, silver. Okay, and these are going to cost $54.99. Wow. Well, hold on here. Weren't the old covers more expensive than that? The old PlayStation covers?
I don't know. We painted ours.
Yeah, we painted ours. We did ours the DIY way.
And it was a lot cheaper. I promise you that. So to be fair, we just looked at the prices, and the official prices are the same, $54.99, which I still think is grossly overpriced.
Yeah.
Just because you can paint them. Now I get it. Not everybody wants to paint them and stuff like that. Go through the trouble of it, and that's fine. You do you. But I'm not paying that. I'm not paying that much for something that don't give me any benefit aside from aesthetics. I'm cheap though.
I've done it before, but I also like to paint my stuff. Here's the thing too that gets me. Complaining about price all aside, yeah, it's the same cost. It's less material, supposedly, and it's the same price. If it's smaller,
it could be their way of making it. Maybe Sony. I think I read somewhere Sony was taking a loss on the console, so maybe this is them trying to minimize that loss.
Maybe, but traditionally, all consoles are at a loss. Traditionally, every console except for the Wii was the first one to sell and actually make money on. Traditionally, all consoles are sold at a loss, and they make their money back on the games, and the licenses and things like that, because they want people to buy the console so they can have the games, so they can play the games. And then later on, as costs of hardware and stuff come down, then they match those costs and then start making some money on them.
Maybe that's what this is then.
Maybe, but
so spec wise, it's looking at the specs here on the screen going on down. It is the same as the original PlayStation, with the exception of the size.
Is this what it comes with? Look at this. There's a little kickstand. If you want to set it, this is what it comes with base.
Huh. So you can't set it vertical. It just stands up. And that looks rinky-dink.
Yeah, in order to set it up the other way, you have to buy that stand. That $30 stand.
Okay. I mean, it looks a little bit smaller there, but it's still got that iconic shape.
Yeah. I don't know. The fact that the original PlayStation 5 comes with one and this one doesn't, we'll get there. Okay, here we are.
So looking at the dimensions here, it says approximately 358 millimeters, which, if my Google Foo is worth anything, that is about 14 inches, which is about this big.
It's about 3 Corey's heads.
Now you may look at this and say that looks like my PlayStation. I actually measured my PlayStation here, and it came in around 15 and some change long. So they're definitely cutting down the size. They took about an inch off the length, but then they're cutting down the bulk of it in the width.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess that, which makes sense. They're calling it a slim, right? They're not calling it a PlayStation 5 short. It's slim. So that's looking at the size difference. I do like the design of the case and how it has that line going through it. I don't know why I like that, but I do. It's just, I have a hard time. Which I know it's not meant for me. I'm an owner of a PlayStation 5. It's not meant for me.
Yeah.
Or to appeal to me. This is meant to be their newest revision that's going to start replacing the old Gen 1 models. That's great. Fine and dandy. But I just don't know, because the old models are so readily available. I don't know. I'm having a hard time getting my point across, I guess.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong. This is the same, right? There's no upgrades to this. maybe just size of hardware.
Well, based off of PlayStation specifications, they're saying it's 5.5 gigabytes a second read bandwidth, which is the same as the old model. So it just looks like they upped the capacity.
Okay.
And again, that may be why too that they're factoring in that they're justifying the cost. But let me tell you something: SSD storage is cheap today.
100 gigs does not cost that an extra $100, basically.
256 costs like $50. And before you say anything, yes, that's an NVMe
Yes.
drive. Yeah, like I said, it's same specs, which is fine. They're not advertising that this is faster. They're just saying, hey, look, it's the same thing, only a little bit smaller. I just really hate that they pulled that on the vertical stand because some people like to put it vertical.
Yeah.
And now they're going to have to dish out an extra $30 for it. And you couldn't have bothered to include a cheap built-in stand. I'm talking no thrills, clear plastic, thin as could be. It looks like there's nothing under there holding it, just to hold it vertical.
Yep.
And maybe it will. Maybe it will. Well, me and Michael asked some of our friends who maybe get one, which I don't know any of my friends that don't have one. So,
right.
Don't know if anybody will be getting one.
Maybe somebody will. We can borrow it and do a review on it. But what is your final thoughts on this?
I think if you don't own a PlayStation 5 and you want one, man, see, I'm hard pressed because of the stand.
Yeah,
I want to recommend the Slim because obviously it makes sense to get the newer thing. You get the more space and stuff. Okay,
you're not gonna have a choice. You're not gonna have a choice eventually. They're getting rid of the other model.
If you don't care about having a vertical stand or not, and you just set it horizontal, mine's horizontal, which is this way, by the way, for those that don't know. You can, and you're looking to get one this holiday season, maybe just spring and get a Slim because you'll get the newer technology, and two, you'll get an interchangeable disk drive, and you don't have to worry about because I do think there was a couple of the PS5s, the first gens, that had those problems. I'm pretty much sure they worked them out, but if you don't have one, this is probably a good buy. Now, if the Gen 1 model goes cheaper, which I have a feeling it will, it'll start going on sales, I'd snag one of those bad boys. That's just me. I like to save money where I can. But really, that's all this is for, is anybody who doesn't have one, which the problem is, I'm trying to think of who doesn't have one now.
Yeah.
Because it's been out. It's been out, what, 3 years now?
There's such a rush to get them. So.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like the whole world was wanting to buy one.
Maybe they're hoping that everybody starts to burn out and they need a new one. Maybe that's what they're hoping. I don't know. Personally,
oh, I know this is for. This is for all the people who was playing Final Fantasy 16 in graphics mode and hit that bug where it overclocked the CPU like crazy and caused it to do a thermal shutdown.
They did it on purpose.
Okay. But yeah.
So my personal opinion, I think this misses the mark. I like the design. I think that's kind of neat. I like how it's cut in the middle. I think that's okay. Not including the stand, and I don't like the look of the stand. I think it looks flimsy. I don't know. I like the original stand they had because it turns and it does things. I don't see why they couldn't have done something like that with this. The upgrading from the digital to the having a removable disk drive is really cool. I think that is really neat. Being able to buy a new one if you need it to put it in there. But the fact that it costs $80 and the upgrade to the disc version is only $50, I don't think many digitals are going to sell.
If the digital was $420, it would have been fine.
$420.
No. Seriously. Hear me out. If it was $420, $80 for the disc drive that's included with the $500 model, boom, you're at $500.
Okay, I could see that. I guess they're taking into account packaging and shipping and stuff like that, and that may be why it's added some cost on there. But I
not think, $30.
No, but I still don't think it. I still think that the digital version should be $100 cheaper. I believe the digital version should be $100 cheaper. I'm sorry, I just do. It's the way it was now. That's the way it should be. And going forward, they're just getting more. They're grabbing. It's a cash grab. It's kind of what it kind of feels like. I know there's inflation, and I know everybody's in comments is going to be like, inflation's bad. Yes, but every new version of a console that's come out, that's been a slim version, that's been a slim down version, that's easier for them to make, cheaper for them to make, has been cheaper. This is the first time that I can think of that it's not been a performance upgrade. Like, you can't compare the Xbox One X to the Xbox One and be like, oh, the Xbox One X was more expensive. Yeah, because it was a more powerful console. But
I agree. It's kind of meh. Yeah, neat. You got a slim model, but if you already own one, and I know this is not for us that already own.
No, it's not for us.
But
and who's to say ours won't break down? We have to get one of these eventually. I mean, it's just how it is. But and when I get one, I mean, it'll be okay. But I'm not going to go out and sell mine to buy this, which I don't think I'm the target audience for that. But
kind of puts me in the mind of the Switch OLED a little bit.
You see, even the Switch OLED had a better screen.
They had a better screen, yeah, but I mean, it offered nothing as far as hardware. Like they're still releasing OLEDs, and we know a revision of the Switch, like the next generation's around the corner.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think what'll really get us is now they release this, I'm pretty sure here in about a year or so we'll get a pro version.
Probably.
That'll be beefier.
Yep. What's to release the same one, or the model we have now. It'll be the same body style as that because it's the pro version. It has more stuff in it.
Put it past them. But let us know what you think down in the comments. Are you excited? Do you own a PlayStation 5 already? Are you getting it if you own one? Do you not own one and you're going to wait until this comes out to get the newer one? And we'd love to hear your thoughts about it. And like I said, Mike and I, we're not concrete in these things.
No.
If you disagree, let us know. We love to hear it. We love to hear everyone's viewpoints. Maybe we're missing something that others are not picking up on. And definitely let us know in the comment. Yeah, we love to hear your feedback on it. But yeah, if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. It really helps out a whole lot. And if you want to see more content like this, check out our channel where we do other discussions and mostly Let's Plays, but we do discussions like this from time to time. But yeah, I'm your co-host, Conquer Corey.
And I'm Mike.
Until next time,
keep on gaming.
Listen.